Rick Horner is a Republican out of Wilson County, and he hopes to replace current State Senator Buck Newton, who wants to be Attorney General, so he's retiring. You don't have to beat Buck, you just got to follow him.
That's right, and it's big footsteps to follow. Buck's done a good job for our district.
You know, a lot of issues out of Wilson County. Where do you start when you get to the State Senate, and what do you try to push on Mr. Berger to listen to you on?
I have to start by learning when I can speak in the Senate.
True.
I'm a freshman, and we don't do very much. We need to. I've been in politics a while, and I'll spend the first few years learning the lay of the land and who gets listened to and who I can work with. That's what I plan to do.
What issues are in Wilson County that, regardless of whether you can overtly speak, you do have influence, you're only one of a handful of senators, what needs to be addressed?
Well, obviously in Eastern North Carolina, it's jobs and education. Our tax base isn't what the rest of the state is, and we have our municipalities and our counties are always searching for revenues other than property-based tax, and we just need to do things to stimulate growth in Eastern North Carolina.
I'll ask you, the tough question I will ask you, is it bothers some Republicans and not others, is economic incentives, because there's always been a word in Raleigh that had you had a big incentive package, you could have landed that huge car plant right for Wilson pretty much up in that area, Rocky Mount. Do you buy into incentives as a way to grow Eastern North Carolina, or is there a better approach to that?
We haven't had a good government that hadn't had a very good track record in picking winners. You look at the fiasco up in Roanoke Rapids. I think economic incentives should be very reserved. I do think that it's the horse is out of the barn. They're done all over, and we have to participate, but it has to be very, very selective. You look at the expansion in Johnston County of a pharmaceutical plant there, it's much easier to give those incentives to people already there and help them expand. Or go to in Wilson now, Firestone just announced a $160 million expansion on their plant. Won't add any jobs, but it sure makes the stability of that plant in the future a lot greater. And I think one of the most important things we can do is really work with the business we already have to make sure they want to expand. When they expand, they want to do it here because they like us already, and they're not as expensive.
And those are big corporations. How do you look down? Most of the jobs up in your area are small people,
oh, small
jobs. So, I mean, and they're paying income taxes, not corporate taxes. So how do
and
you
get no help?
Well, Senator, there you go.
They don't want any help. They just don't want the regulation to kill them. I met with a gentleman yesterday, Edwards Crane. I don't know if you've seen those trucks all over everywhere. Daryl's got 425 jobs there in Nash County and did it all himself. He just needs community colleges to train welders. You know, that's what he liked, and qualified people he can hire and put to work. And we've got to do a better job finding people like Daryl Edwards and supplying labor for him. And as I told him, we do a lousy job selling to most of our citizens that they can be like Daryl. He started out driving a welding truck. He's got a multi-million-dollar crane business. Everybody can succeed in our economy, but we got to give them hope that they can be successful too.
Community colleges, they say they can train welders. That's what they're there for. They're doing a good job for you in Wilson?
They are. We've just replaced the president at Wilson Community. I'm on that board. And obviously, I was on the school board in Nash County for 14 years, and we had a community college appointment. And in building high schools in Nash, which I was instrumental in, we made sure, I've got 3 high schools within 3 miles of our community college because they're such an integral part of education going forward. And I think they're very underutilized here in the state.
So it sounds like the pieces are there. If you go to the Senate, you will quietly work to deregulate to help small businesses. You want to support the big businesses, just to lay it out on the table. Well, Rick, I appreciate your time here. Good luck on the campaign trail. A lot of miles, a lot of country roads you'll be traveling here.
Thank you, but when you're from the country, you're used to those roads.